dignity of labor. Develop nation through dignity of labor. Hello, Pastor Ernest.
Yes, Pastor.
Welcome today.
Thank you so much.
What prompted you to read this book or to decide to do a review of this book?
Yeah, I think the first step was when I talked with Julie.
Okay.
And trying to know which books were not yet reviewed.
All right.
And immediately she mentioned this book. That just resonated in me immediately.
Did you?
Yes, I'm going to do it because
yes,
I live in a developed country, and it has been my desire to see this kind of development in my country.
Okay.
I said, I have to go into it. That was why I decided to pick it up.
Now, when did you read it? Were you attracted to the book immediately it came out, or it's just now, before the review, you decided to read it?
Yeah, I was attracted. I think I bought the Kindle of it. I was planning to read, but I thought I was delaying too much in book review. Let me just do something. So I decided to, I had already read 2 books I needed to review. But when Julie mentioned this, I just had to leave the 2 and go for it.
What were the other books you were planning to review?
I plan to review No One is Better Than You and How to Regain Your Lost Year.
No One is Better Than You, okay?
Yeah.
And How to Regain Your Lost Year. Okay,
Yeah.
I think those books are popular books because it's like other people they were faster than you.
Yes.
And other people already got those ones.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm hearing you. You are talking about, so you decided to read this one. That was when you decided to read it?
Yes.
So,
and
what will you say about it?
Yeah, I would say that the kind of development evolving in the first world countries did not happen by miracles.
Okay.
It did not happen by signs and wonders or prophetic declarations. Those developments did not happen by fasting, prayers, and going into politics for personal gains, or greed, or church attendance, or mosque attendance. It was as a result of the dignity of labor that were propagated by the Protestant church. So there is a clear difference that the result of the teachings by the Protestant churches, especially when we compare to the countries that were being run by Catholicism, we could see the difference. So when we look at like Italy, Portugal, Spain, Greece, Cyprus, and all that, their GDP is still low compared to Germany, compared to England. So it's really very important for our country, because I'm saying that the kind of things I've read in this book that the Catholicism did to those countries, our pastors, our country, our religious people are trying to do the same thing. And that is
in Africa.
In Africa, and that is why we are so backward. So this book is a gold mine. It's a gold mine.
That's a serious word. Why did you choose that word, gold mine? That's a serious.
Because it has all it takes to change our country, our continent.
This book.
Yes, this book.
You have it.
This book. It has all it takes to change. There are principles and strategies outlined in this book that cover how to treat work in a way that can lead every developing country to becoming developed.
But There is no better example than Germany.
Yes, because I'm here. I've compared and contrasted. When I read it, my mind, in fact, the principles. In fact, I want to say something that, what you say when you're doing live broadcast, your teachings and your book, they are two different things. So, if I want to compare this way, swimming and diving, the live broadcast you're doing is like swimming, while your books are diving. Because divers go deep into the river to pick all the things, to video and take pictures and all that. But when you want to swimming, you're just on the surface. So if people listen to your teachings and think they've really got to, let them read the books. Because you've done so much research, you've given so much information that I was just wondering, I mean, all your books. So if listening to you alone is not enough, so that's why I'm saying that the book is so deep. It's so you have brought out the nitty-gritty that would make every developing country to become developed. That's what I'm saying.
Because the book is well researched, backed up with tested information,
yes,
and that are practiced in every country.
Yes. So it is a manual that we can use to really do something, to work on our system.
What will you think if somebody will ask you and say, okay, what is the main important message in the book? What will you will you address as the most important message of this book?
Okay. I would say, first of all, you have outlined there's what we call the 13-point value system that brought America
yes,
to where they are today.
But everybody knows America and everybody admires America, but they don't know the secret.
Yes.
That's why for me it was very important that people know that even Americans themselves, they don't know. And in only very few places you might live in your life 10 times and not come across that list of values that made America what America is today.
Yes.
Even if it is only for those values alone, is what buying this book.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I have seen, when I read them, I have seen them here also, because everything, they are just duplicating each other. In workplace, when you talk of time management, they don't joke with it. If you're late for work, you'll be questioned. When you talk of time management, coming to work, you must be there. In fact, even me as an African, I'm sometimes challenged when it comes to coming to work. But the Germans are there sometimes 30 minutes. So I want to say, don't they have what to do that? They come 30 minutes, they are taking coffee and they are relaxed, they are chatting but me, I will come like 15 minutes or 10 minutes to the time. So they don't joke with time. They consider time to be the undisputable factor that is required to accomplish a goal. In fact, if you're working and you're just wasting time, I've known of, some places I've worked before, and I've met some Africans too. They would just try to be wasting time and doing what was not, and they would be warned. I remember one guy made a statement when our boss warned him one time. He said, "This man, he do like saying, I ain't get this company." I said, he's doing as if he's one of the company, but he's doing his job. He's very serious. He doesn't joke because he wants to achieve his purpose, his target at the end of the day. So if you're just wasting and thinking, it will tell you your time, that time is being paid for and you have to. So when it comes to time management, Pastor,
which is one of the 13 principles.
Yes, one of the 13 principles. So I wouldn't mention all. So if people need it, let them go get the book.
That's good.
They are there. They are there. So I would say maybe one or two more. They have action and work orientation. So any action whatsoever is seen to be superior to inaction. So they walk their talk and talk their walk. They fulfill the goals of the organization and mind their own business. In fact, sometimes I used to wonder, because I see the way these guys walk, they are so committed, they walk with their whole heart. Sometimes I get challenged, I say, but they are not the owner of the companies, they are not they are working, they are so serious, they are so committed, nothing, when it comes to working, I have not, we say we work in Africa, but we don't work. We are not careful. At work, Pastor, they are conscious of every detail. Every detail. They are very serious. And they don't take things for granted when it comes to working. So that orientation is what is helping them to succeed. But in our own continent, people just work anyhow. They go to work anyhow. They just do things anyhow. That's why we are not moving forward. We are not achieving goals. I know people who leave their work, go to businesses and come back to work. At home. Yeah. But here you can't try it. If you try that, you're gone.
So they are asking, in what country do you live in?
Okay, I live in Germany. I'm from Nigeria. I live in Germany. I'm from the southeastern state, the Akwa Ibom state of Nigeria.
Some people are saying that you are like, your name is like Cameroonian.
Yes, we are. My place is near Cameroon. In fact, in my village, we can see Cameroon Mountain from my village. But my place is near Uyo. But we could see, because it's hilly, we could see. We normally see the mountain, Cameroon Mountain. So our names are mixed. Yes.
Because they used to be part of Nigeria before too.
Yes.
Okay. So originally from Nigeria, but where do you live in Germany now?
In Düsseldorf. Düsseldorf in Germany. And I'm a pastor and a musician. I grew up from a polygamous home. My upbringing wasn't pleasant, but I give God the glory, because I determined that I was going to succeed. I was going to become somebody. And that's why I'm here today.
Now, when was the first time you came across the concept of dignity of labor?
Well, yeah, I just bought, when I saw it, I did not really, I did not really give attention to it. I just thought, let me buy it, because my desire is to see my continent develop. So I need to read. So I think almost every book you've written about Nigeria or Africa, I've bought them. And I want to study, because I had concern when I came in here newly. I had a lot of concern, when I saw the level of advancement, the level of, the technology and everything. I was just wondering, what is going on? How did they get here? Sometimes I would go go on the street at night and just be meditating. Why are these people so developed, and why are we so far? Because I tried to check and balance the level of development here. I saw that we were too far back behind. I began to, then I never knew you, never came across your teachings, but it was my desire. In fact, I decided to start praying for my country. I decided to start praying for my country.
Why praying? Is it true? Will prayer bring country development to your country?
That is the ignorance I was living in. I never knew. I was praying out of ignorance, because I would enter the train, and I would try to look at the train, the buses, how they were so organized, so beautiful. I said, but why is it so difficult for us to have this in our country? I had so much concern. In fact, everything I saw here, I just felt like duplicating them. So my question was always, why these people are traveling abroad? They are coming here. They are saying all these things. Why is it that they are not duplicating? Because from this book, I've discovered that even some countries like Estonia, they had to duplicate the principles of dignity of labor, and that helped them to succeed. So why can't we just duplicate some things? Why is it so difficult? I did not understand. So
because even though people go to Germany and go back home, even though people live in Germany all their lives, even Germans themselves, they might not be able to explain what is written in this book.
No.
You see? If so, talk less of our people who just come to visit. They are just surprised, like you. Like you are surprised, and you are wondering why. Until you get a hold of this kind of book, you will never know the reason.
Yes. So so when I saw it have to become a developed nation through the dignity of labor, I said, wow, dignity of labor. In fact, my mind went through, and I started to think, to compare the system here. I could see that every job here is respected. When it comes to cleaning, whether you are a street cleaner, whether you are a dustbin mover, you are respected. No job is downplayed. They don't downplay on any job. They don't look down on any job. No matter how, even recycling, they respect every. In fact, one of the challenges I got when I came newly, I had to stay with a family. You know, coming from Africa with their mentality, I thought everyone should always go to school. So, and this family I stayed, the son was young, but he was driving a DHL bus to distribute packages. So I was questioning him, why don't you go to school? Why do you have to drive a bus? Why do you have to do this? It wasn't long, I got to discover that every job is respected. No matter how. You can't step into any office and say you're doing this and they will look down on you. Nowhere. Even if you like clean the streets and you need a loan, the bank will be running after you with loan. If you like work in a recycling where they sort dustbin, go to the bank, you need a loan, they will give, as long as you're working, they will give it to you, anything you need. And if you lose that job, the state, the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Works will pay you for 1 year. So every job is respected. And so I decided to really know I decided to buy it because I bought it. I bought the electronic one when it came out immediately. So it is a gold mine, as I say. It is what is going to happen.
Before, when you said you were praying, when you saw all these things, you were praying. But what happened then? What did you get those answers in this book?
No. I noticed that prayers can't change a nation. Prayers can't change a country. In fact, I used to pray, my prayer, and Pastor, I used to pray every day. This was my prayer every day. God, do something. Give us a leader. Change our country. I will pray for the economy. I will pray for the politics. I will pray for the businesses. I will pray. Those were my prayers, but nothing ever changed. So until I think because of my passion, God made me to discover you. And when I started listening to your messages, in fact, in one of those messages, those days, you mentioned that one of the GOs in Nigeria was asked that what he thinks the problem, what does he think we will do to bring solution to our problems. He said, we have to pray. So, and you said that prayer, that prayer, no matter, let them pray till Jesus come back, that nothing will happen. So that statement touched me. I said, it's true. That we have been praying, all this while I've been praying, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed until I got to discover that a nation can only be changed through principles. And those things I heard from you. Then I changed my prayer.
Now, but in this book, were you able to find secrets or some answers that will, if they are practiced in Nigeria, will really lead to development?
Yes, sir. I did. I found them. There are a lot of, I don't know, maybe time. There are a lot of things that we can do as a worker, as a church. There are a lot of steps that are to be taken for our economy to change. If we continue the way we are going, nothing will change. The way the church is being run, nothing will change. I'm saying the way our churches are now, it's like when people are going to church, they will just, maybe before they leave their house, they will just remove their brain and drop and go, get to the church and come back and put their brain again. Because the thing is getting out of hand. And they don't care. No one cares. No, in fact, I talked to a friend this morning from Lagos. He told me that the economy is getting worse every day. He said that he works in Apapa. He said the wharf where they are making billions, from wharf in Apapa to Ikeja, he said for almost 1 year now there has been traffic from Apapa to Ikeja. And he said right in front of Apapa wharf, the road is so bad that trailers are falling there almost every day. And it doesn't occur to anyone to, that it should do anything about it. He said that what the police is doing is, they will come and, the police has created a place and standing there to collect money. When they collect money, they will now open that place for a trailer to drive past. And if you don't pay, you can't pass. And know that things are getting worse and worse. So, if this book can, I would say, I've seen that the problem, the solution is not only from the government. Every individual, every indigene of Nigeria.
Can you move to this side, to your left? Yes, that way, yes. Go.
Okay. Every individual needs to read this book. The information needs to go around. Because there should be dignity in everything. People go to church, the pastors are giving them false hope, giving them false prayers, and making them to be lazy. I used to say that I can't imagine how people will live in a place like Lagos and still be begging and still be asking people from abroad to send them money. The system is so open. You can do many things, not dubious things. You can do little businesses, things to make money. But the churches are making people to be lazy, to just sit down and expect miracles. The thing is not coming, and the people are not questioning why are things not changing. So this is what, because when I came here, I said, here you can't take anything. You can't go on the street and sell anything. You can't. But in Africa, you can take, even if pure water, go on the street, you will sell. Groundnut, you will sell. Here, you can't sell. You can't do anything without taking permission. And here, hawking is not allowed. Everything is at the shop. Hawking is not allowed. So why should people, so I'm looking, if our people can, have this understanding that labor, every job should be respected, no matter how venial it is. We shouldn't be poor. We shouldn't be begging. But I notice people, they wear their wealth, what they could use to invest, they will wear it on their body. When they talk of party, they belong to different organizations. They must buy uniform, and that money, they can use it to trade. And at the end, they are asking God. I've talked to many of them. We have helped. Why don't you do this? I've given you this money. Why don't you do this? Oh, God will do it. They always tell me God will do it. I'm asking, how will God do it? When you have something you can do, they don't want to do it because it is too menial. It's not respected. If I sell granite on the roadside, it's not respected. So I need a shop. You know, I need 1 million, I need 2 million. So this is the mentality. And the churches are promoting that your help, one day of favor from God is better than 1,000 years of labor, which is wrong. Labor, job, Pastor, it is very, very sad. The church is not helping issue.
Now, many people who are watching you now, they are looking forward to when you begin to, examine the book.
Okay.
So let's go one by one, chapter by chapter.
Okay.
And you begin to give analysis of each point that will help to turn Africa around if we follow the principles in this book. So how to become a developed nation through dignity of labor.
Okay. All right. I will start from the introduction.
Yes.
The message I got is that there is not much difference between the advanced nations and the third world nations. The only difference is the application of some effective principles. That is very important.
Beautiful.
Yes. So chapter 1 talks about development, and you gave different kinds of, I picked the one that really touched me. That development is about the total value that is added to people who live in a geographical area. This value is seen in the exchange of ideas, quality, and passion to advance in every collective unit of the society that forms the nation. So it becomes a paradigm that makes that nation exist, survive, and thrive.
Continue speaking.
Yeah. So development should become a collective ideology that removes self, which is the underlying character of greed in almost every human mind. And it is witnessed in the third world countries and is put up as a principle for living and livelihood that benefits all and sundry. So in chapter 2, you talk about dignity of labor, and there's this story of this man, Dr. Ty Solari. I never heard of him. The founder of Mayflower Schools. That he in his writings, he did a variety of topics like nation buildings, self-reliance, technology, science, culture, economic and well-being, food production, and human rights. And I was surprised to see that he imbued in his students self-reliance.
So,
in fact,
you didn't know about Tai Solari?
Nah, I didn't know.
Wow, he's one of the most. Did you ever hear of Wole Soyinka?
Yes.
He was just as famous as Wole Soyinka when he was alive.
Okay.
He was always giving problem to the Nigerian government, in prison many times and things like that. Anyway, but people are asking, where can they get the book? The book you can get by going to, can you pin it please? By writing to dssbooks@gmail.com, dssbooks@gmail.com, or you could go to my blog, sundayadelajablog.com/books, sundayadelajablog.com/books, or you can get them on Amazon as well. But if you are on Amazon Kindle Unlimited, then you can read the book for free actually. So, but if not, it doesn't. Some people are saying you are living in Spain or you are living in Japan. It doesn't matter where you are living in. If you write to dssbooks@gmail.com, they will send you the list of all the books, and you will be able to get it sent to you in any country in the world. So that was chapter 2, right?
Yes, sir. So I was glad to say that he produced the first female engineer in Nigeria. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And he said, being a farmer, a fisherman, tailor, and cleaner or waste disposal team member does not mean you are not responsible, not a responsible young person, and shouldn't be respected accordingly. So another message I've learned that is that one of the best ways to stop the mental slavery of believing that it is only by traveling out of the country that is when we can begin to make money or build a productive life is by working for self-sufficiency and not by selling ourselves into slavery willingly. So chapter 3, the dignity of labor through the ages and now. You have outlined how to foster the dignity of labor and the influence of the reformers on Europe and what the concept of dignity of labor did to Europe and what it can do to Africa and the developing nations. So you did Estonia as an example, which among other Baltic countries like Lithuania and Latvia was under the control of several superpowers and had nothing to show for its own economic growth. Estonia was considered a developing nation during this time, being occupied by the Soviet Union in 1940. So after they went through those tough times, moving from policy to policy, and were shaken by instability until 1988, the Estonian Supreme Soviet issued the Estonian Sovereignty Declaration during the signing revolution. The defiance of Soviet rule and independence was reinstated in August 1991. So currently, Estonia is a developed country with an advanced high-income economy that is among the fastest growing in the EU.
Yeah.
And why? They benefited from the values and the principles and the values of dignity of labor from the neighboring countries that were influenced by the Protestant movements. So it's this dignity of labor can take people off the streets. Like I read in the book, Germany, England were so poor like Africa before. And Germany, where the streets were full of drunks, while London, the streets were full of prostitutes. But this message of the Protestant movement brought them out, took them out of the streets. So this development, dignity of labor can take people off the streets. People were taught that they were created by God and they themselves must become creators with God. Creators like God. So, and it could bring respect and dignity to work. So people began to understand that wealth and success are not a matter of luck, like we sometimes believe.
Or miracle.
Or miracles, So superstitions regarding work and wealth will be broken. Everybody will now know that wealth comes from hard work, not from some superstitious belief. Because we have that so much in Africa, superstitious belief, that my help will come somewhere. If God blesses me, no one can curse me. If God does it, those are rubbish. So, dignity of labor will teach the society how to respect all kinds of work. And each worker, no matter the level, will know he is participating in the process of creation with God. That is what we don't know. Sometimes we think we are just working because of money. From this book, I know that if I'm working, I'm not working because of money. I'm working because I am part of the creation. I am adding value to the lives of people. Because everybody needs one another. So it's not just because of money. So Martin Luther, who pioneered this movement, he made, I think he made this statement, or either you or so, that no, it's not you, but I think you made that statement, Pastor, that pray like only prayer works and work like only work works.
Yeah.
And this is what we're supposed to have, the understanding we're supposed to have. So And the foolishness of churches, those things they are doing, and not looking at the environment, because I've got to understand that environment is very important. You've subdivided. I'm going to get there. Let me just go to the next one. Good. So you talked about the present culture in our society in chapter 4. I'm in chapter 4 now. You mentioned that your observation in our culture is that the culture that is prevalent right now in our country, Nigeria and other parts of Africa, is the culture of get rich quick. This is very true. Very, very true. Get rich quick. Young men only wish to do prestigious jobs. Our young people look for quick answers and solutions. They don't want to work. So they're just looking for, even here, it's happening. It's happening. I go to call shops. I was shocked because I've not been there for a long time. One time I just popped in there when I had problem with my printer. I was shocked that almost all the computers were occupied by blacks and from a particular tribe in my country. So I was wondering, what are these guys doing here? And this is normal work time. It's internet fraud. So this get rich quick scheme is a big problem. It's a big problem in our country. People, I think, because of the false hope people are being given, that you can, so people don't care how you make your money. It doesn't matter how you make your money. As long as you make your money, it's God that has blessed you. So from this book, people want to get rich. Get something for nothing. And it is coming from our pulpits too. People want to get something for nothing. Because if a pastor tells you, yeah, God is going to, declare that this year, this month, if you sow this seed before this year ends, giving you all sorts of, so anything that comes, you will just fall in. That is my own opportunity. That is getting rich quick. I think the church is supposed to teach people how to work hard. Working hard is not the one you do, the job you do with muscle, with energy. This is what they're supposed to teach. So from this book I've learned that there's a difference between working hard and working smart. But in our own culture, we misinterpret everything. So they look down at people who are engaged in manual labor. Fraudulent money schemes are prevalent in the society. So a corrupt society is a full-blown manifestation of corrupt value system, defaced a sense of life, lack of or the misunderstanding of humanity and communality. So the basic problem is the value system. Value system. So we can't say that our society is good when the value system of the people are not good. So there is nothing such as get rich quick or money doublers. The scheme of this nature is usually aimed to exploit or steal people's hard-earned money. And this is what we need to change. So to do good business, people should sit down and study the lives of those who make the great wealth being spoken about today and learn from them. Because I've seen many here, they don't want to work, they're just doing all sorts of things. So it is sad. So in this book you said, thinking one can make so much money overnight through all these schemes is really the biggest joke of the year. But this is the time to go back to our roots, to go back to the drawing board and correct our fundamental errors, to go back to the family. To go back to the family, the foundational institute that gives birth to the society, and put things in the right perspective. So these are the steps, things we need to do. So we people of Nigeria and other third world countries, we must arise and be up and doing to clean up our mess and send the right message to the world that we are really ready So going to chapter 5 now. The need for a change in people's mindset over labor. There's a need for that. So when we think of change, we think of the outward change. No. Change is more of an inner diversion from previous flow of thought and choice made, which leads to that outward behavior that is seen by all and sundry. So we cannot enforce change by combating the societal ills and crime, as an example, with coercion and ammunition. If done in this way, then it is authoritarian, tyrannical, and despotic. So human beings have a personal will that cannot be thwarted by any of the legal means above. Instead, human beings respond positively to the change when they are convinced and convicted. So sometimes we are doing it the wrong way. So we resist transition not because we can't accept the change, but because we can't accept letting go of that piece of ourselves that we have to give up when and because the situation has changed. So this quote is by William Bridge. I take it again. Said, we resist transition not because we can't accept change, but because we can't accept letting go of that piece of ourselves that we have to give up when and because the situation has changed. So every major outward change towards labor must first begin in the mind. So for us to expect development in our nations, we must first bring development to the mind and understanding of our people. Andrew Gaines said that a passive and ignorant citizenry will never create a sustainable world. You know, in our society, we are so passive, we don't care about what is happening in our environment. We are just concerned about self. So what do we need to do in this chapter? When people meet their friends and colleagues, most of the things they discuss are about themselves, their businesses and families, which are good things to do. But when it comes to nation building, we are passive. We see several society ills and we blame the government. Meanwhile, we are the government ourselves. Because everyone I talk to, they say it's the government, it's the government, it's the government. We don't think of ourselves. So our voice counts. So when we agree together and say we want something and go ahead to get it, then it will materialize. But when we are passive, or we wait for some kind of miracle or someone to gear us up, then things will always remain the same. So we must be proactive as individuals in our countries. Chapter 6, you talked about world transformation through dignity of labor. The pursuit of miracles rather than bringing dignity to labor. Transformation by work, not by work. This is a lesson that we must all learn if indeed we want our economy to grow. Then we must pay attention to how we treat work in our countries. Nigeria can rise up speedily. Even other third world countries can rise up speedily in development because we have got what it takes. So what is only left out is what this book is trying to trash, which of course is increasing the dignity work is meant to have. We don't have that. So there's no boycotting this principle of dignity of labor. And so, right from the pulpits of our religious churches, the miracles messages need to give way to teachings of the real pursuit of the kingdom of God. Yes, because if we keep preaching miracles, signs and wonders, and we are not giving priority to the dignity of labor, we can't go anywhere. The prosperity as seen in most Western European countries is as a result of the teachings of the dignity of labor that were propagated by the Protestant church. And that is what we need in our own country. There is a clear difference from the result of these teachings in the countries influenced by Protestant churches, because when compared to other countries run by Catholicism, this clear difference is visible only because of dignity of labor. Like I mentioned before, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece, and all that. Good. So this is a lesson that we must all learn. If indeed we want our economy to grow, then we must pay attention to how we treat work in our countries. Nigeria, as well as the third world nation, can rise up. We can become a developed nation if we pay attention to this. Dignity of labor. Chapter 7. Secrets. You give secrets to bringing dignity to labor. I'm not going to give all. Several theories speak against hard work. They are mere deceptions. We need to deal with it in our present world. To yield to such concept is to reduce the potency, the process, and benefits embedded in hard work. We must not deceive, let alone deceive ourselves. Nothing works like hard work. No other virtue can be substituted for hard work. We must not be disillusioned. Working smart, according to our present world standard, is actually cunning and crafty ways of making ends meet. By hard work, it means you must develop your mind, create your own job, have investment, and spend maximum time producing quality products. You refer to personal mind development aided by personal study of books, journals, self-study tools, or training materials and sources for knowledge, even over the internet. Because sometimes when we talk about hard work, we think it is the manual one, only the manual one. Hard work can be the mind. Studying. People don't want to read. Like they normally say, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. People don't like to read. Our people don't like to read. They don't like to research. So working smart means using your creativity and tasking your mind, creating models and solving problems. So the picture we have about working hard is that of physical labor, who uses his muscles to engage in some physical activity during the production process. There's this quote by Vladimir Klitschko. He says, mental strength is really important because you either win or lose in your mind. And I'm not solely talking about sporting matches, boxing events, anything you do. You do it first with your mental strength. And you can actually train and develop it. And I am responsible for what I'm saying because I have experience in it. I have experience with that. And that is very true. That is very true. So work hard, spend maximum time producing quality products. We talked about time. Time is the greatest resource we have, and it must be used wisely. Those who create good products work at it for a long time. Example is Thomas Edison, the creator of the electric bulb. He made a comment that he learned 1,000 ways not to make an electric bulb, which means he spent maximum time in producing one quality product that the world cannot do without. This is very true. And another example is the Wright brothers. They are recommended with developing and flying the first heavier airplane. The first recorded flight was in 1903. And for the next 10 years, two of them spent their time developing the aircraft, which today is a significant contribution towards developing our modern day airplane. So the trouble with opportunity is that it always comes disguised as hard work. So the next one is be smart. We need to accept that we are creative. Sometimes we look down on ourselves. I think every human being is creative, from what I've understood in this book. The mind is a slave to what you feed it. Our mind is a slave to what we feed. It only follows whatever it has been programmed to do. So whatever you believe your mind can do is what it manifests. So if you ask a worker or a nation, begin to accept the fact that you are creative, and before you know it, your mind begins to believe and reprogram itself in that order. So inspiration that produces creativity will be ignited, and then the search for a whole new you will begin. That is from that chapter. Chapter 8 talks about benefit of and the dignity it brings. The right attitude shoots people up to the right altitude. I take it again. The right attitude shoots people up to the right attitude. When we understand that attitude is what really makes the difference, then we will position ourselves in a good manner and get the best out of work. Today, due to lack of education, people have misunderstood the whole essence of work. So many people think of work as the only means to earn money. Meanwhile, money is a different topic on its own. Hence, people must be taught that money is not the most important benefit of work. Work indeed has many more benefits other than money. We work first to realize our hidden potentials. Work, therefore, is the paramount key to discovering ourselves. God has hidden in each and every one of us so many abilities, so many gifts, so many resources that could only be activated by work. The example is Nick Vujicic. You made an example in that book. Vujicic. Also,
yeah, we call it Vujicic.
Vujicic, okay. The Australian pastor and motivational speaker, transforming his nation and beyond for God, was born without limbs. So this guy, I've watched his video. I think anyone who watches that video should be challenged, because no hands, no legs, but he's making impact. So we work to discover and release the potential of the earth around us. God, in his infinite wisdom, has deposited in everything the potential of growth and multiplication. So there is worth everywhere and in everything we see. For example, it is only by work we can extract gold from the ground. It takes work to discover the oil that is already deposited in the ground. It is work that turns a hill of coal into carats of diamond. Till date, a lot of excavations are still being done on the seas and the oceans of our third world countries because history and a lot of wealth are buried in it. So also scientists are still discovering more aquatic life. So work is given to us by God as an instrument to multiply resources. Everything God created was so done in the form of seeds, small and miniature. So it takes work to increase and multiply every resource we see around us. So the last chapter is chapter 9, bringing back dignity to work. The environment can be grouped into the physical environment, the intellectual environment, and the spiritual environment. So how a worker relates with the environment all around him determines to what extent he is able to bring dignity to labor. So caution must be placed on the environment because it cannot be limited to what a worker sees alone. If indeed we want to talk about the human being in his totality, we have to consider the environment as it relates to man's physical body, intellectual state, as well as the soul. So the physical environment refers to the total sum of all components that we as human beings have to deal with outwardly. It is what our physical eyes see and we relate with physically. So therefore, it is the house we live in, the community of people that surround us in our daily endeavors, the landscape that we call our motherland. And so because of the symbiotic relationship we all have together, they have an impact on us as a people and as a nation. So how can we make our physical environment eco-friendly with the dignity of labor? How can we do that? The economy must be built to serve people, not vice versa. That is by Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo. So we have to be bold in our national ambition. First, we must win the fight against poverty within the next decade. Second, we must improve moral standards in government and society to provide a strong foundation for good governance. Thirdly, we must change the character of our politics to promote fertile ground for reforms. There's this quote by John D. Rockefeller. It says, "I believe in the dignity of labor, whether with head or hand, that the world owes no man a living, but that it owes every man an opportunity to make a living." The worker must be given the right to enjoy his labor. Only with the tools of production in their own hands could the workers ever hope to control their lives and receive the fruits of their labor. By Ella Bloor. It is just total wickedness to apply the rule of the carrot and the stick to those who work to harvest the carrot itself. A worker works all his life, pays utility bills and his children's education, which will at the end come back to join the same circle. So at the end, the pension is a peanut. So what a tragedy. It is important to get anything tangible from such a laborer unless his worth is increased in his own eyes and he sets himself free from Uncle Sam's system. So I want to talk about the spiritual environment. The goal of using the spiritual environment is that it is a place where the worker can connect with the higher source of fueling. This is very, very important. I really love this very place, and I want to encourage everyone to really listen and really, when you're reading, go to this place for empowerment and redirection. Concentration brings precision, and precision increases productivity, and productivity is what the world is in search of. I'm going to take that again. Concentration brings precision. Precision increases productivity, and productivity is what the world is in search of. So the religious theories that our nation Nigeria has been plagued with can never advance the nation. What is required is the ability to convert ideas. And how can we convert ideas? Solitude sets a worker free. That is true solitude sets a worker free from the rat race of life, deception and vanities. The intellectual environment, I'm going to talk. So in the spiritual environment, because of time, I'm not going to go in too much. But solitude this has gone so deep in this solitude with a lot of benefits, a lot of steps, a lot of things we can do, how we can do it to benefit us. So we can really convert, we can really draw. Solitude, it was here, I got to know solitude is not only for believers. Not only, you don't need to be a Christian before you can go on solitude. Thomas Edison used to go to solitude. Even Steve Jobs. Many of them go on solitude. It's a place of reflection, a place you seek inspiration. Not only to go and pray and do jamboree.
Bill Gates also does solitude.
Bill Gates does it. They go on solitude. They set themselves aside to go and study. So you've delve in so deeply in this area of solitude. It's so detailed. So I encourage everyone to go get this book. You will never regret. It will help you. It will really help you. You talked about the intellectual environment as well, known as the ideological environment, which consists of philosophies, ideologies, beliefs, value systems, superstitions, and even ignorance. So the operation of the intellectual environment in our minds and how we relate with them has great effect on us, as they all either trap our minds or put it in a box or dominate, enslave, restrict, or motivate, inform, educate, guide, lead, or empower it in making its own analysis or judgment. So the intellectual environment controls the human minds. So much that it can even dictate how a worker relates with his physical environment. So we need to work on it. I think those are the points, what I've learned, and I'm able to bring up.
How important do you think this book is?
Okay, important.
Yes, how important do you think this book would be to all Nigerians or to all Africans?
So this book has all it takes. It's very important because it's like a manual. It's like it has step-by-step guide on how things can be done. Because if it is possible for the information, even to use it as a manual for training, even for the younger generation, for the government officials, for politicians, even non-governmental organizations, to use this book and train people, it will, because the information embedded in it is so wide and so detailed and so deep that will turn people's minds around to really say that we need to give cognizance to every kind of job. You don't have to just look down on anything we do. I mean, when we do the right thing, not the dubious things. So I have seen it to be very, very important, very, very important, and when we look at the steps written down here, or maybe I think even schools, young people should be taught, because as they are growing, they are also going into politics, and if they can be affected, because here, when I came here newly, I thought everyone goes to university, but it's not like that. Many people don't go to the university here, but many of them had good positions in companies. But if you interview them, they just did training. Many of them finish secondary school and they go into training. But back at home, everybody wants to go to the university. And after school, they're not doing anything with it. So it will be a manual for people not to look down on any kind of trade. Any kind of trade. If it's not possible for you to go to the university, you can go for training. Either technical, there are different kind of trainings. Here, I have seen that those who go to the university are very few. Those who do real work, real handwork, real technical, different jobs are more, because they find that there's dignity.
What are the changes you think will happen to Nigeria if this book is introduced to all the schools, universities? What are the changes you think will begin to happen in Nigeria?
The value system of the people will be changed. Yes, the value system, Pastor. The value system is very important. If this book is introduced and people begin to read, or the information in this book is being spread, people's value system will begin to change. That we need to sit back and think, how do we do things? Yes, I can do things this way. I have to know what to do, and I'm not, it's not about money. I am doing because I am adding value. I'm a co-creator with God. So it's something that is going to put people, give renewed understanding. Because I notice that whatever people do, they always put money first. But it is not so. It is not so. It's not money that is what we are working for. We are working because we are part of creation. We have to also play our part. We have to also add value. So people would, because I used to think, even here, see people work so much, but you think because of money. No, not just because of money. Because indirectly, the thing has been embedded in them. It has been infused into them. So they are used to it. So our people should begin to see that work is important. We don't have to jump lines and look for fast ways of making money. That's why we see a lot of corruptions. People are going to politics because of corruption. But people will go into politics because they want to make a difference. They want to make impact. They want to create a change. So I believe if the young generation, the schools, have the knowledge from this book, it will help them to change their value system and their understanding of life on how to do things, what they need to do. Because we are just, everybody just going, doing the way they like. They're just going and doing whatever they like without really thinking what I'm doing, why am I doing it? For example, before you do something, even workers have been, you have outlined here, every worker needs to go on solitude to refuel, to think and replan how you can be more effective. So it will help the economy, it will help the young people, it will help the politicians, it will help the pastors, it will help Christians, it will help the Muslims. It cuts across every barrier. So there's no area this book cannot make impacts. And as long as
can you show us the book again?
This is the book, How to Become a Developed Nation Through Dignity of Labor. Dignity of labor.
Have you ever read a book like this before, on this subject before?
No, sir. I have not.
So do you think that the same thing in Nigeria, that many people have never read a book on this topic?
No, I've never read.
Do you think in Nigeria, people have also not read, not many people have read a book like this on this topic in Nigeria?
Pastor, I don't think anyone has written a book like, the books you are writing, your books are exceptional. When I read your books, they are two different. I used to read books. I think I had a lot of books from Oyedepo, from who is this man in the US? John Maxwell. I've read his leadership books. I have some. Other ones, Matthew Shimolowo and all the men I've read. They are. Yours is so different. It's not religious. Like it cuts across. It helps us to make impact, to discover who we are and what we can do to add value to the nation, to the country we are, to become co-creators with God. So your book is the teachings are so different. So I've never read. I've never come across it. I've never. I used to read all some secular books, but no, I've not got anything like this. I've not got anything like this.
How can this book help churches in Nigeria or pastors?
Pastor, it will help because they would know that it is the messages they are preaching cannot help. They would know that just declaring and prophesying can never help. It can never work. Because the example here, when you look at Europe or America, how many declarations, how many, even Martin Luther, John Calvin, John Wesley, they never did declarations of prophecy and all that. They only taught the principles of development. Those were the things that worked. So if pastors will bring down their head, because I'm saying our pastors to be too proud and too stubborn, if they could bring down their heads and read and begin to teach people the right messages, that they should, discover themselves and be focused on what they can do, not only spiritual and declaration and expecting, waiting for, receiving false hope, things that don't work. And sometimes, I do wonder why the people keep going to these churches and they keep receiving prophecy year after year, and they're not questioning why are things not changing, and they are still defending these pastors. They are still, standing and supporting. So I believe it's going to help those pastors if they will bring down themselves to study and begin to apply. They will teach people to go and research, to go and study, to go and learn. In fact, they should even create programs that will help people to engage in hard work. So it's really going to help. It's really, really going to help.
When you came to Europe, you said you were praying at first.
Yes.
That God should help Africa, Nigeria to be developed. Can you say now that the answers are in this book?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Pastor. The answers are in this book.
So those people who are praying in Africa, if they will read these books, their eyes will be opened?
That is it. They will. Their eyes will be opened. Because they would see the examples you have given. It is very clear. It is very clear that Europe developed as a result of principles, not prayers. In fact, here people don't even go to church so much. But they are working hard. They are developing, they are bringing new things every day. But our own, we have so many people going to church and no one cares even about the environment. Here, if a street is broken, it doesn't take time. They would put it back in order because they are conscious of the environment. But at home, they don't care. And people are passing there, even they are going to church. The government officials that are passing, they don't care. So there's nowhere we cannot impact them. I mean, there's nowhere this book cannot impact their lives. If they...
Hello?
Definitely. Yes, I'm there.
Yeah. So now another question I have. If people on the platform, why should they read this book?
In fact, I want to encourage them to read, because if they're only listening to you and they think they know you, I mean, they really get the message, it is not true. They should read this book. They are going to see the in-depth. They will see that you have taken time to research. You've taken time to explore. You've taken time to outline. Because live broadcast is not enough. Even if they listen to, I don't know if you've done any message on, to all your messages, still the books are more, have more in-depth information that can help everyone to get transformed.
Yeah.
So I encourage everyone on the platform to go ahead and read. If we want our country to develop, our continent to develop, we need to get understanding about dignity of labor. Work should not be downplayed on, no matter how menial it is. There should be respect and value attached to every kind of job. Even people who are not working should be encouraged. Look for a way to spread the information. It's going to help.
How happy, how satisfied are you that this book was written?
Pastor, 100% satisfied. In fact, from my first notes, I wrote that I am thanking you so much for your time and the time you spent in researching, the time you spent in bringing out this information, because it's something that was why I made that comparison between the swimmer and the divers. The divers go deep. So this book has gone deep into the ocean to take picture of everything and bring all the information out. So it's like when we watch on the TV, we see the divers, videoing. That is what you've done to this book. We'll see different kind of fishes and how the sea is and everything. This is what you've done to this book. You have brought out all the information that we need to do when it comes to walking, because walking is what keeps the nation. So sometimes I don't understand why churches will have services during work day. Was it December or thereabout? A church in Abuja was having service every day. and they're only going to pray. And
they were having it every day for the whole year.
I see, can you imagine? And the time, and when I saw it, I said, this can never happen in this country. That church will be closed down. You can't even try. That church will be closed down. The police will just come and stand there and say, everyone move out. And they will close it down. You can't try. And so if they have read a book like this, they should be able to know that people need to walk. Because here, Pastor, one holiday, the money even companies lose is not a small money, because they have to pay all the workers. So talk less of gathering people every day to have service the time they're supposed to go to their businesses, supposed to go do something. So it is not normal. So this book is very important for everyone. Please go and get it. Get it for your friends as gifts, particularly in Africa. Let them read and get their minds transformed.
Wow! So it's worth your money.
Yes, I have the Kindle. My books, I have the Kindle and the physical one. I have the two. So anywhere I am, if I'm not with this one, my iPad is with me. So I can always read. So it worth my money.
So you now know that there is something you can say concretely on how to improve the country, instead of just asking God or praying or thinking.
Yes. I know how. I know. In fact, I want to be. To me, it has made me to think of becoming a trainer. Someone who I'm going to devote my life to spread this message, to train people on dignity of labor. I have made that in my mind when I read it. Yes, I am becoming a trainer, and I think that is what I'm going to do when we are going to Nigeria. I would be a trainer to train people on these principles, because there's nothing we can do. We can't go anywhere. There's no progress without this book will bring order. It will bring order. Yes, it will bring order. So I'm going to be a trainer. That is what I've decided. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So life is predictable then. Everything could be explained.
Yes.
Development of the Western nations can be explained.
Yes. It's not by prayer. It can be explained.
And lack of development in Africa also can be explained.
Can be explained, yes. No matter how things are difficult, how people are suffering, there is always a solution. Our value system has to be changed. We can do something. There are practical steps. Because it is done. It is done in other parts of the world. How did these people get to this level? It's because of principles, not because of prayer and fasting.
But if you say that in Africa, they will say you are blaspheming.
Yeah. Even the other day we were on Facebook. I posted something with someone, and one person on the platform mentioned Mark Zuckerberg and some other people, Bill Gates. I was shocked that even a pastor who wrote, I don't want to talk about them. They are agents of evil. I said, to that extent, that means they are saying that those who are successful in the Western world are agents of the devil. They are doing some occultic things to make money.
Horrible stuff.
It is horrible. I was shocked. So this is the level of mentality. They don't know. So I now had to write. I wrote him. I asked him, "Are you sure you are civilized at all to make such a statement?" Because it is achievable. Because I think also the problem is because the people have not studied, they've not gone out, they've not seen, so it's hard to convince them. But I believe that the time has come that our continent is going to change.
Somebody wrote here, DSA team, please take note, date below is wrong. What date is that? Is it date for HMT or what date of? Anyway, so this is the book.
Yes.
This is the book, How to Become a Developed Nation Through Dignity of Labor. You can get the book on Amazon, and you can also get it if you are on Kindle Unlimited. You can read it for free. You can buy it on Amazon, or if it's too expensive there, you can write to my office. And the way to write to my office is to write to DSS Books at gmail.com. DSAS Books, one word, at gmail.com. So that's how you get this book, and you can get the list of all my books actually by writing the DSS Books at gmail.com. So what can you mention to us before we go, Pastor Ernest? What are the other books you have read of mine?
Okay. I will start. The new ones are not so many, but I will start from the old one.
Okay.
I've read this.
Church Shift.
Yeah, with the manual. I have the manual also.
Okay.
I've read this. Money Won't Make You Rich.
Money Won't Make You Rich. This Church Shift, yeah.
I've read Pastoring Without Tears.
Pastoring Without Tears. Wow.
This one by Consolation. As a consolator.
The Consolator, the Pastoring Without Tears.
This one. I think I've read it maybe up to 5 times or thereabout.
Wow. Pastoring Without Tears, eh?
Yes.
Money Won't Make You Rich. Okay.
Yes. I've read this.
Understanding God.
Understanding God.
Okay.
I've read this. The whole world is waiting.
The whole world is waiting for you, yes?
Yes. I've read this. Spearheading the National Transformation.
Spearheading National Transformation, yes.
Yes. I've read this also. King Judges of the Earth.
Yes.
I've read How to Hear the Voice of God.
Yes.
I've read Calling Purpose.
Purpose and Fulfill.
Fulfill, yeah.
Yeah.
Then Who Am I?
Who Am I? Yeah.
I have that. I have it in German too for my daughter, my children.
Who Am I?
Yes, in German.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've read this also, How to Regain Your Lost Years.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And How to Secure Your Financial Future.
Yeah.
And Stop Working for Uncle Sam.
Wow.
Yeah.
You are like a library.
Yeah, and no one is better than you.
Wow.
Yeah, but I want to show you the ones I want to read. I'm working on. This is the one I want to read.
Which one?
The Nigeria and the economy.
Oh, yes. Nigeria. Yeah. Well, no, show it in the middle. Yes. Nigeria economy, the way forward.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Nigeria and the leadership question.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to read The Mountain of Ignorance.
Wow.
I'm going to read Lives and Opportunity.
Okay.
And the creative and the power, creative and innovative power of a genius.
Wow.
I'm also going to read this, How to Create Your Own Net Worth.
Wow.
And going to Where there is problem, there is money.
You have all of them.
Pastor, I don't joke. I have this also. I have them too, both Kindle and the physical.
Wow. Let Heroes Arise.
Yes, and I have the power of poverty mindset versus abundance mindset.
Beautiful.
And I have this insulted by ungodliness.
Yep.
And I have only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. So, but I have more on Kindle. You know, the latest ones, I have them on Kindle. So
the ones you have read, why can't you go and write a review on Amazon on all of them?
Okay.
The ones you have read.
Yes, I'm going to do that.
Before we go, what will you say? Because everybody is saying, wow, about that you have all these books, they are jealous of you. What? All of you can get all the books on Amazon, but you could get them cheaper if you write to DSS Books at gmail.com. DSS Books at gmail.com. What will you say in general about these books? Because everybody is wondering, you are so rich with all these books.
Pastor, I have to, because knowledge is very important, and I have to.
Why did all these DSS books?
Yes, because I've discovered that I want to go to the university again. to university again through these books. And the knowledge I need, I don't want to be deceived anymore, and I want to make a difference in my generation. That's why I got all of them. I want to make a difference in my generation. I've not started yet. I want to make a difference in my generation. That's why I have bought. I've not even bought the latest ones. I've not bought. I buy them.
Somebody is saying that you have discovered diamond.
Yes, very importantly, I have.
But but there are many other authors out there.
Pastor, since I discovered your book, I don't have there's no appetite to any other book, because what am I going to read there? I've not seen what will really benefit me. I think all I need in life are in these books. All I need. So I don't want to spend my money. I'd rather spend money buying this. When I came to Ukraine at the airport, they told me my hand luggage were was too big. I removed. I told them, but this book, no way, I can't drop. They told me, okay, let's just wait. And after they put all of them back, I bought about 30 books or thereabout when I came. So, and I have discovered gold, and I want to make a difference in my generation. I want the world to hear this message, because the truth you are giving is not something to joke about. And it has been my heart cry that the people from my continent are not getting this understanding, are not ready. They are just religious. So it's my desire, and I'm buying them because I want to be a trainer, and I want to get as much knowledge as possible, and to get myself prepared for the work ahead.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. I want to tell everybody that the way to get the book is to write to dsasbooks@gmail.com. One word, dsasbooks@gmail.com. And you can get them on Amazon as well, both Kindle or just on Amazon. And if you have not made it to HMT yet, we have HMT. The next HMT is coming up in Kiev, Ukraine in April, from the 1st or 2nd of April to the 8th of April, you could say like that, including arrival and departure. You could say from the 1st to the 8th of April. But the HMT proper will start from the 2nd to the 7th. So, the longer you stay, the better for you. You could stay longer, and you could come before. And you could also be a distributor of these books. You could actually distribute these books. So if you want to be a distributor, they will even be cheaper for you. So write to dsasbooks@gmail.com, then you'll be able to distribute the books as well. And make some money for yourself. Yes. Pastor Ernest, everybody is praising you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. I will be back in 25 minutes. We are coming back for the love series again. Peace. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.